Hi, my name's Martin Wayne. I'm here to demonstrate a automatic quoting system that I developed for a fencing contractor. Pretty much the fencing contractor had no time on his hands to write the quotes that he needed to write, and he kept postponing them and hence missing out on jobs. And he wanted to build his business, but he couldn't do this because he's spending too much time fencing and not enough time doing quotes. So I developed this so he could now create a quote on site and send it directly to the client while he's doing the quote, rather than having to go back to the office and generate it and then email it to the client. So it's saving him heaps of time, and the best bit is he doesn't miss out on jobs anymore. Okay, now this was designed with the fencing contractor business process. So this business process, the types of things that we're going to fill out is exactly what he used to do anyway. The only difference being now that we can do it on an iPhone, an iPad, or any Android device, and he can do it while he's out at the quote. Good. So let's get started. Here's the form. It's got a funny blue arrow template on at the moment, but pretty much you can change that template. All of this stuff is using the Google Cloud services to create, so you can access and do it from anywhere. Anyway, here we go. So let's go with a client name of, let's say, James Dean. Let's go with a job address of 1 some street, South Melbourne. Okay, 3205. Okay, client's address. It's not different. So client's phone number 041 449 0869. That's my number. So if you need to get hold of me, you can ring that number, or and I'll just put in, for the sake of the demonstration, an email address that you can contact me on as well. So here's the option. You can pick a treated pine fence. What height is the fence? I don't know really much about fencing. Don't really need to be able to create something like this. I'm just going to guess a few values here. Length of the fence, let's say 35 metres. Let's say it's a treated pine fence. Treated pine fence is going to have some capping. The capping's only going to be on 25 metres of the fence because the fence goes around a corner, and the price per metre of the fence is $35. Now you could have the price per metre automated, but pretty much this fencing contractor liked to charge the people depending on what it was, what type of person they were, and how difficult the job was. Okay, so anyway, he only needs to remove 25 metres of fence. 10 metres of the fence is doesn't already exist, okay, and he has to put in let's say 1 corner post. That corner post is, let's say, $6 each. He's got a driveway gate, so we're going to have 2 gates here. The gate width is 1.5 metres for each gate, okay, and the height is it's a 1.2 gate height, and the price for each of these $45. He's also got a single gate, okay, that has a gate width of let's say 1.2 metres, but it's the same height as the fence, and the fence height was 1.8 metres, okay, and the price for that gate is $35, okay. He has to do some concrete cutting. Let's say we've got to do 5 holes, and it costs, $12 per hole. He's not doing any bollards for this one here, but there's also one other thing that he wants to do, and sometimes you need an option here to be able to add different things. So this one, let's say we go to remove some vine from the person's amount, or there's only one main vine thing, and we're going to give it a price, just a fixed price for, let's say, $36. Okay, there's nothing else that we want to add in there, but we will put in a little bit of an entry in here. Let's say pergola must not be used to support the fence, as pergola will be removed in future. Okay, so cool. There's our quote. We've filled out all the things. We can go and verify and see whether or not we've got everything we need to get. That's how it all is. Oh, we've made a little bit of a mistake back here. So we just click on that. We use our standard iPad functionality, which is what I'm using at the moment. Okay, to fix that, that's good. So when we come back down here and we hit submit. Now, so what we'll do is that's pretty much created the quote already, okay, and it's created a record in a Google form, okay. So I'll just refresh this page here. This is where it all gets created, all up in the cloud again. So you can see that there's my fence quote form that was already, is my spreadsheet that shows me all of the information. You can see there's the James 17 quote. It's created 11:06, which is just in the last minute or so. Okay, so let's have a look at the fence quote form first. Okay, so what you'll notice in here is that it's created a record with all of the information in it that we just filled out. Okay, now what we can do is we can edit that information from here and then create another quote, but it's already created a quote for us. So just in case that we, if we did actually get it wrong, we could change it and then create the quote again. We don't have to go back to the form and fill out all the things again. So here's the draft. Let's go and have a look at that quote. So here it is. We've got the quote. Now you notice the formatting in here is a little bit different. An iPad, it actually sort of screws up the formatting a little bit, and it doesn't matter. It's only what you're looking here. When we send this to the client, it doesn't look anything like this. It looks exactly like his original quote looked like. Okay, so but at least in here we could actually go down an edit path and change a couple of things if we wanted. It's not really recommended because we can change it in the spreadsheet and then just regenerate one of these. Okay, so let's close that one down. We've seen the quote form now. So let's say, okay, it's time to email this thing. So we just check the little box over here. We come up here and we say we want to share this thing. Okay, and we want to email it as an attachment. Okay, so Google goes and sorts all this out and creates a little email. We say we want to email it as a PDF attachment. Okay, and let's just send it to the client. Okay, wire.com.au. Now this is an out-of-the-box email bit here. Oops, sorry, I clicked the button I shouldn't have. Oh, there we go, we got back to caps, we have to turn that off, there we go. Hi, fence, quote, attached. This email allows you to personalise it for the the individual person. You might want to say something else when you're sending the quote. We can actually automate this part of the process as well, just by clicking a button from the spreadsheet or from the quote itself. Open up the quote and then emailing it, and we can do it all automatically. It would grab the client's email address, etc., and stick the a nice subject in there and all those sorts of things. Anyway, so let's hit the send button. This is just the simple way, okay, and the current fencing contractor that had this thing created, he just likes to create it this way. Cool, so pretty much what that's done is send an email. Let's go over and check out my email over here. I'll just refresh my email. Alright, and here it is. There's the text in there that I filled out. So I've got all the Google Docs flavour about it. As I said, we don't have to do this via the Google Docs stuff. I can actually create a bit that will send this with your own branding on it. Okay, but let's have a look at the PDF that would have been sent to the client. Okay, now obviously I've stripped out the fencing contractor's logo and their company name and all of those sorts of things. Hence, we set this up. So this quote looks exactly like his quote used to look, apart from the fact that there's nothing in here about his company name. Okay, so and sure enough, there it is. It looks quite presentable. It's only really black and white, but I mean we can put colours and all sorts of things in there. So there's the fence quote. This fence quote looks exactly like the fencing contractor's fence quote. Okay, so fence quote. So he gave me a printed version of his fence quote that he'd fill out and then send off and do all his calculations and all that sort of thing. But so pretty much what I've done is duplicate that up on the Google services and then automated the filling out of this form, including all of the appropriate calculations and GST, etc. Okay, so there we go. you can see that that all I've done here is automated his business process. Okay, so I can automate your business process, or you could just have this one here. Okay, if this looks like something that could benefit you, then give me a call. My number is this one up here, 041 44 90 869. Thanks very much for listening. Bye.